Welcome to the nighttime. The day is over. It's over for most people. This is NightAloneness. Everyone's gone to their bed, to their bedrooms. Most likely they're sleeping. You might be tossing and turning. You turn the lamp by your bed off. Then you turn it on. You do that maybe 5-6 times before you realize this is getting futile. Stress can cause us not to be able to sleep. Stress can be harmful to our bodies too. Relaxing is a hard thing to do. It sounds so easy though. People tell us, just relax. We try and fail over and over. And little by little, stress starts to creep in. Our mind doesn't stop running at night. Instead of that sleepy, floaty feeling, our mind runs. Did you finish your chores today? What kind of chores do you have for tomorrow? It seems to be everywhere around you. And instead of laying down and closing your eyes and getting a good, refreshing night's sleep, you wind up falling into stress. We can consider stress actually an enemy to our minds, and given enough time, an enemy to our bodies. I remember many years ago going on a trip and winding up in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's a beautiful town, Daytona Beach. The beaches are white. The cars drive on the beach there, right on the sand. We had settled into a hotel right on the ocean. It was called Perry's Hotel. They do have a number of swimming pools. One is inside with a roof over it, with open air vents that let the breeze come in and the heat go out way up near the top. Then they have a swimming pool that's out in the sun, actually pretty close to the ocean. But this one day I decided I wanted to lay down and relax near the ocean. The hotel provided lounge chairs so we could go and take our towels, and I picked out a lounge chair. And I laid down in the lounge chair, and I could watch the people walking up and down the beach, north to south, some hand in hand, some with little children, some using it as an opportunity to just exercise, walking on the beach. It was interesting for a while. Even more interesting is the cars, the Jeeps, the open air Jeeps that I was able to watch drive not far from where I was laying on the lounge chair. After about 15 minutes, a very strong, warm, soft breeze started coming right off of the ocean. I could feel the warm air wrap around my feet, my knees, my stomach, my chest, my head. I could feel my hair moving around. The breeze was going pretty well. It felt like a warm, liquid blanket. It was so refreshing, I just laid my head back, closed my eyes, and with the sounds of the rolling waves, one after the other, I suddenly felt my body relax. It actually surprised me. I hadn't felt a relaxed state like that in ages. I had entered momentarily into a stress-free zone. If I was at home and in my bed, I think I would have dropped off to sleep. Right at the moment. And that's what many of us fight with at night. We lay down in our bed and we fight. We fight with our mind because the mind doesn't shut off. We think, what do we have to do tomorrow? And then start listing those things in our mind, keeping us awake. Even worse, we relive the day we just finished, trying to figure out how we could have handled something differently. The saying goes, hindsight is a perfect science. We might relive a conversation we had today, or maybe a year ago, or maybe 20 years ago. That is not relaxation. So we try to turn our mind off And the harder we try to turn our mind off, the more it doesn't go off. It actually kicks into a higher gear. And off we go to the mind races. 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Do you turn to take a glance at the clock every once in a while? Trying to figure out, what time is it now? And then it dawns on you that you're going to need to get up. You won't get 8 hours of sleep. You won't get 6. I've learned to relax while I'm awake in bed, hoping my body will take advantage of that time to relax. Many years ago, when I was in my 20s, a doctor had come to do some type of business with my dad at his shop. And my dad had brought him into his office to have a private conversation. And I was sitting there working on my computer in that office, which I shared with my dad. They had their conversation. I was busy looking at my computer screen. They both got up to leave, and my dad said, "Come and meet Dr. So-and-so." To be polite, I stood up. I went over and I shook his hand. And out of nowhere he said, "Son, the best word of advice I could give you is for you to learn how to relax." Just to keep the conversation going, to sound polite, I said, "Well, doctor, how do I relax?" He said, with all the different types of sicknesses that he sees going through his office, the people, and that he cared, and it bothered him on an individual level. He said he had to personally learn how to relax. He said, "Son, let me teach you what I learned on how to relax." My dad had a lazy boy rocking chair that also reclined, and the feet went up. And he said, "Just sit in that chair a moment." I said, "Okay, doctor, I can do that." So I sat in the chair, and he said, "Now lounge back. Tilt it so you're laying back. Make it so that your feet go up." He said, "Now start with your feet. And purposely think inside your mind for your ankles, your toes, your calves to relax. Command your toes, your ankles, your calves to relax." He said, "Now work your way up your body, section by section, telling each section to relax forcing it, if you have to relax and let go. So I tried. It seemed like an easy task. It was harder than I thought. Even right now, I bet you're laying in your bed listening to me, sitting in your chair listening to me. I bet your shoulders are tight. Why don't you practice what that doctor tried to teach me? Purposely address different parts of your body, telling it to let go, just relax. Tell your feet to relax, your thighs, your stomach, your chest. As funny as it sounds, after you get to your shoulders, tell your shoulders to relax. The interesting thing that the doctor told me is he said I had to tell my face to relax. My face was tense. He said I paid attention to my eyebrows, my forehead, and by the time I was done, and after I had practiced this for weeks, I was actually able to get my body to go into a state of relaxation. When I was on that beach in Daytona Beach, in that lounge chair, with that breeze surrounding me like a liquid blanket, I actually felt my body go into a relaxed state. It was like stress washed its way out, just pouring out of me. It was so shocking I can remember it to this day. It has to be 20 years ago. Many of us don't know how to relax. We get into and lock ourselves into a stressful position all day. And when we lay down in the bed, our legs are tight, our shoulders are tight, even our face is a little bit tight. It's actually hard to think of troubles if you're going through your body parts, telling each part to relax. Tell your fingers to relax. Tell your wrists, relax, let go. Tell your shoulders, relax, let go. Tell your stomach, your diaphragm, let go, relax. Those of us that are people of faith, now would be a good time to do a little praying when you're in a relaxed state. It's interesting. When you get relaxed, your thoughts become actually slower. Our thoughts go so quickly, we don't realize that they're running at a high speed. Relaxation is an art. It's an art that we need to conquer. It's an art that we need to master. It's interesting how other people they go to bed. And as they say, there's a saying that goes something like, "My eyes are closed and I'm asleep even before my head hits the pillow." My head hits the pillow and my eyes pop open. My mind starts to think. And without realizing it, I'm thinking in fast motion. Then the tossing and the turning starts. I might flip over to my right side and I say, I'm not going to think about anything at all. And that's exactly what does not happen. My mind starts to go faster. It's amazing how it can take a topic and run with that topic. Things I wouldn't normally think of in the daytime, I start to think about in the nighttime. It's amazing. To break the thought pattern, I might turn on my back. And after a while, I'll flip to the other side. Nothing changed. I wonder how many of you actually give up and actually get up out of bed. You intended to go to bed for the night, but instead, you're awake. You're wide awake. I've had those nights. I've had those nights where I just give up and I figure, why am I wasting my time here in bed? Sleep doesn't even seem close. I've actually have thoughts of, will I actually get to sleep tonight? Is sleep possible? Will I be looking at the clock at 3 in the morning? 4 in the morning? They say stress is a killer. It captures us, keeps us away from that summer breeze that you can imagine in your mind, that lets you relax and fall asleep. Practice feeling your own summer warm liquid blanket. Just feel comfortable. Try to teach your body to relax piece by piece. Think your way through from your feet to your loins, to your diaphragm, to your chest, tell your face muscles, just relax, let it go. Tell your eyebrows to relax. feel them relax. Command them to relax. Your forehead, your hairline. Work your way through and defeat the stress. We've taken stress on as if it was a friend. Stress isn't a friend. Stress has come to destroy us. The story in the Bible of the Garden of Eden says that God planted plenty, many hundreds, maybe thousands of trees. But in order to introduce free choice, free will, He didn't limit them, Adam and Eve, from any of those trees, thousands, plentiful supply, except one particular tree, a tree that introduced choice, and choice introduces stress. Adam and Eve were told, don't eat from that tree, the knowledge of good and the knowledge of evil. It seems sometimes even the knowledge of good can introduce stress, but always having to deal with those choices puts you in a stressful situation. And according to the story, God said, if you eat from that tree, you will surely die. It's ironic that today the doctors tell us that stress is one of the biggest killers out there. We fight so many different diseases. I don't think of stress as a disease. When I lay down to go to sleep, I don't think I'm fighting stress. But the truth is, I am. Reliving the day, reliving the past, trying to figure out my future, they pile up. And it seems that nighttime zone is the perfect time for stress to come in and start to work with our minds. We need to fight back. Fight back by making our bodies relax on purpose. Relaxation on purpose. It seems like it should be a show all by itself. Relaxation on purpose. Powerful words. Relaxation on purpose. Can you do relaxation on purpose? I need to ask myself, can I do relaxation on purpose? We'll close out today's show by putting a special thought in our minds. Relaxation on purpose. Something to achieve, to defeat stress. Tomorrow we'll do this all over again, and by the time we go to bed, stress is ready and waiting for us. I'd like to think that I can be prepared. That I can be ready and start the ladder from my toes to my head, telling every part of my body, you relax, you let go, and feeling my muscles relax from my feet, inch by inch, all the way up to my head. Relaxation on purpose. Sounds like it would be a good book. Do you have special methods that you use to relax? Do you get frustrated and work yourself up, maybe even into an anger or a frustration where you feel cornered? And you have to pop up out of your bed, out of your easy chair, and start the process of going to sleep all over again. This show is recorded. You can play it back and listen to it. Maybe it'll help you go to sleep. Maybe it'll make your eyes get a little heavy and close. Maybe practicing relaxation on purpose is a gift you can give to yourself that no one could take away from you. People take things away from us. Sometimes they take away their friendship. Sometimes they take away the time or attention that they would give to us. Basically, it boils down to a form of rejection. Rejection is one of those things that is very painful and grows slowly. But it grows deep, deep in our hearts. We don't do well with rejection. It causes us to make some kind of decision. And the outcome is either we get mad at the other person, or we get mad at ourselves. One way or the other, someone will suffer for that act, unnecessary act of rejection. Out of that grows our old enemy, strife. But as we build tools to beat that strife, little by little, that sleep that doesn't come, we'll start to learn how and use what we've learned to make that sleep come. It's a beautiful thing. That's the end of our show for tonight. NightAloneness. the darkness of the night, and we defeat it together. Good night, everyone. Play the show over as you need it. God bless, and good night.